All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of The Owner's Manual hosted by me, Silk Suede, Zay, and Bree. Also want to just do a little recap and say thank you to Corey and DJ for coming on for the second episode and doing the Puffco review. It was super cool. We smoked a lot of U-Baked and Pyramid and some Grow Haven duct tape and had a barbecue after, so it was pretty cool. But today we are on location again in Detroit at the Copper House. We are with Jess Jackson, co-founder of the Copper House, and Bree. And I'm going to pass it off today because Bree couldn't join us last week, and I feel like y'all done had enough of me at this point. So I'm going to just take the little sidecar. So Bree, take it over.
All right. I first of all just want to thank Jess for having us here. Ain't no place to come to Detroit than the Copper House.
Oh, thanks.
The hospitality is the best. I mean, y'all see the setup, right? So let's just get into it. Tell us. Let's start with little Jess. Where'd you grow up? Where do you find inspiration from your youth? Start us there.
I think that there's a lot. I grew up in Southwest Detroit, which is when I lived there, it was about 75% Latine. And I think that as a biracial person, we just had this conversation. I've lived in a multicultural world. I've lived in a world that's pretty global. I learned Spanish early on, and I just walked around my old neighborhood recently. And, I just want people to feel valued no matter where they're coming from, and I want them to feel at home. I can see it when I walked around. I walked around my old high school just recently and was like, this feels like home to me. This feels like sacred space. And I think that people should always be able to find that grounding. And I think that when I'm most grounded is where I derive inspiration and knowledge and deep knowing.
Do you think that wisdom that you just spoke has always been a true statement, or do you think it's something that's been a part of your spiritual journey?
Ooh, that definitely took practice. Yeah. I think that I didn't even recognize what being ungrounded or not having a strong footing felt like, because I grew up without having a strong footing. Mm-hmm. And I think that it has been intentional to find those pieces of joy, those pieces of my soul, to attract that back to me so that I can always feel grounded.
Put that on t-shirt. Put it on the t-shirt, man. Can you walk me through what high school looked like for you? Were you using cannabis in high school? Ooh. How did you come to be comfortable with cannabis as a whole and transitioning into college as well?
Man. So in high school, I was a 4.3 student and was the leader of 7 organizations. And I just counted it recently.
Can you name them all now?
DECA. Mm-hmm. I was the Grand Bethel Honor Queen for Michigan Job's Daughters. It was National Honor Society. Mm-hmm. I was on the Student Steering Committee. I was National Student Council President. I was also a member of Spanish Club and Building with Books.
Ooh, I just want to say, just again, I wish I would have grown up with you, because I would have definitely cheated off you in high school.
Everybody did.
I was in DECA too, and I thought that was something that curved so DECA,
Distributive Educational Clubs of America.
Yeah,
it's a business club.
Yeah, it's like a business club. So you could you would be pitched situations and conflicts, and it's your job to resolve these conflicts in an industrial or a commercial scale. And you were 16, 17 in high school. You could do it individual and have a partner. And I had a partner. We went all the way to States, and got cut, didn't make it. But so I think that's super cool that you was super active with a 4.3. Ooh,
I didn't even know it went that high.
You said your shit look like gas prices.
And I had 3 jobs, but I was the marketing chair for DECA, and I put together our business plan. This is and we went to nationals for our student store, and putting together that business plan, I think, really planted the seed for entrepreneurship. Right?
Where was do you remember where nationals was held at that time?
I think it was in Florida. I'm pretty sure it was in Florida. I couldn't go because I was in Job's, and I was busy every weekend with Job's. But I'm pretty sure it was in Florida because I missed out on the trip.
Is that where you were?
Oh no, I didn't make it.
Oh.
No, I'm much older than you too. It was probably not the same year. It was not the same year.
Oh wait, how old do you think I am?
I'm older than you. I'm for sure.
I ain't ask all that.
I don't know. I just assume.
That's
Probably
dangerous.
28.
Okay, dang.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm 26.
Older.
Close enough.
Yeah.
We rounding up today.
Yeah.
With a 4.3, you get to round up for life.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
But that's why I went to Michigan, right?
Did you know that? Like, going through high school, did you know you wanted to go to U of M or, like, a big university?
I wanted to go to the best university in the state.
Yeah.
And at that time, because I had commitments. Jobs is a Masonic youth organization. So if you've ever heard of the Freemasons or Eastern Stars, Jobs is a youth organization where you have to be related to a Mason to join. Mm-hmm. And I was like governor of the state, and you can't campaign to get elected to that, so they elect you off the floor, and it's a 3-year commitment. And so I really couldn't go out of state because I was going to be leading the state while starting
high school?
My freshman year of college. But yes, my senior year of high school, someone resigned and I took over the position as well. Which is why I do so much people are like, you do something. Like, I've been training since I was 14. Like, literally. Yes. I'm like, physical fitness is the area of growth. Spirituality is an area of growth. Mm-hmm. Emotional regulation, but like capacity for work, I do that.
I'm happy. I'm happy you wanted to go to the best college in the state, but I also just want to add in a go green. And what we gonna light up today? Can someone pass me a pre-roll? You're just gonna pivot into that one.
A pre-roll, okay.
In a blue container.
Yeah,
It's
go blue.
I mean, y'all wish it was that, like, that nasty ass blue. But ain't nobody talking.
Be careful, little brother. Be careful.
Hey, let's talk about coaches. You don't want to talk about coaches now because your coach is really good at
winningest team
let's
of
talk
all
about
time.
Third place in the Big Ten East. I'm playing.
That's recent times. Recent times. I'm talking about overall time.
I live in the present.
They got the legacy.
We got the legacy though.
We got one letter and y'all know it.
You say can't grab legacy. We can grab. The
No, in all fairness, I was a college advisor when I graduated college. I worked in nonprofit, and Michigan State is a more cost efficient option.
Is it?
I did have a full ride. Yes, it is. For in-state students, it was at the time. And so was Grand Valley. If I would have went to Grand Valley, I would have had no loans. But I went to Michigan where the median income at the time for families was $155K. That means the average student's parents were making that much. I was a Pell Grant student, and my mom was not making that much. She was a single mother. So I was just keeping up with the Joneses the whole time. But to answer your question, like, I was given a joint when I was 16 by the only bi girl in my high school, and I wanted to be cool. Her name was Christina. She just followed me on Facebook again. Oop, I just put her business out there. But I bought this joint from her, and I kept it I was so scared to try it. I kept it in my wallet for months, and I worked at a restaurant as a waitress, and one of the waitress's boyfriend came in one day, and he was like, I need whatever, and I was like, you can take this, take this, it's all yours. I never smoked it. So the first time I smoked was in college. I was 18, and I smoked out of a Dragon Bowl because at the University of Michigan, everybody was smoking. Very
progressive. Mm-hmm. Did you ever go to hash browns?
I mean, that's what hash browns. No, because black people didn't really go to hash browns. It's privilege normalization, right? Like, you can be a hippie white person that smokes weed but as a high performing black person, there's added scrutiny to being, and that's just because this plant has been stigmatized through anti-blackness, if we're being honest, right? Like, the propaganda that was used against it was all rooted in anti-blackness. We look at why people say that stoners are lazy. It's all the same propaganda and messaging. Sorry, I'm holding the joint and talking.
That's okay.
No, but that's the thing. Like you said, you 4.3 GPA and 7 clubs in high school, and then you didn't start smoking until college, but you still kept that that level of efficiency. So what was kind of the catalyst for that? You seem to not let a high prevent you from getting work done.
Yeah, well, I think that cannabis is medicine, right? And it has actually made me more integrated into my body. We all have an endocannabinoid system, and it has helped me like become more balanced while also navigating some of the like mental and emotional shit that I carry. Like it has helped me keep some of that in check, but also your gut mind balance is real, and it helps me manage the pain in my gut. And just, I think that in the last 3 years working in cannabis, I have become more fully myself than any time of my life. And I was a high performer, I think a lot of times because I was distracting myself from pain, right? Like I'm going to keep pushing through everything. Because when I went to Michigan, it was the same thing. I was a double major and had a minor and was in a bunch of clubs, which is unheard of at Michigan because people are like, for real about their like the degree is like you focus on classwork, and I was doing too much there even and working
and smoking
not regularly.
No,
in fact I didn't smoke regularly for until the last 3 years. I was smoking socially, and I was smoking when I was working in Delaware, because that's where Cara and I got married legally. Nice. We moved to, that's the other thing. I think that's the thing.
What's that part?
Every part of who I am has been illegal and criminalized for some time, right? Like I'm biracial. We had to like legalize interracial marriage. Mm-hmm. I am queer. I actually lived through a time where I was not legally able to get married in my home state. So I had to move across the country to marry my wife. I am now working in cannabis, which is federally illegal. I'm also a woman executive who votes regularly and like has a ton of degrees. Every part of who I am has not been embraced or accepted in this society over time. And like, I kind of have a chip on my shoulder to like make sure everything that was meant for me and my ancestors, I get.
You set the blueprint. You are the walking today.
And what do you say to people who misinterpret that chip? Because I kind of feel like the same way, like not in that sense of like, I am a black male, so I can relate to some degree, but like even getting to where I'm at, like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm 26. I ain't think I was gonna make it 25. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought I was gonna be like dead or in jail at some point. Growing up black and white America, and then they call it narcissism. I'm like, I mean, if you did what I did, you'd be proud of my work too. So I don't know what to say to you.
Yeah,
so.
Be proud. I think that like people who are not comfortable with you shining is because they don't know who they are yet. Right. And I can say that as somebody. I told you I didn't know who I was for much of my life. I was just working and having my head down, and I didn't achieve as much as other people, and I would hate. Like I was a hater because I didn't see myself. So people that like don't see themselves, it has nothing to do with anything but their own shit. But you don't stop shining, no matter what. Have the chip.
Exactly.
Got to.
Exactly. What is your degree from U of M?
So I have a degree in sociology and Spanish, and my minor is in the economy, business, and society. So I looked at how social structures impacted economic systems, specifically around like redistribution of wealth, or even just like looking at tax policy over time. So if we look at the queer woman household is actually the queer black woman household has the largest pay gap wealth when it comes to like family wealth. And over time, we can see how that has become the case. 1, women weren't allowed to work. 2, women already make 82 cents to the man's dollar. 3, queer women were not allowed to get married. So all the tax credits that married folks get, right?
You don't get those benefits.
Like you don't get to get any of those benefits when you're not able to get married. And so when people talk about marriage legalization as like not a big issue, I'm like, it's an economic issue though, and it's another barrier that has happened over time. And as they threaten marriage equality, who knows what happens with the Supreme Court? Like that's a real issue. You're increasing the wealth gap. So I don't know what the question was, and I am going on the tangent.
You're good.
No, but
your
the question,
degrees.
Those were my degrees.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I studied, right? And that's kind of what I bring back to business, and that's probably the game that I'm going to put people on is how do we, as groups of people who have different histories in this country, and have experienced different barriers to access to economic mobility, to wealth. That story looks different for different groups of people, whether your family immigrated here or your family was kidnapped and enslaved here. There are different legacies that we experience, and what we can do in business today to make sure that we're able to redistribute some of the benefits of capitalism for those lineages.
Did you say
Legacies, that's what I'll call them. For those legacies.
You said you majored or minored in Spanish?
Major. I had a double major, yeah. Actually, one of my Spanish professors from the University of Michigan came to Copper House this weekend to tell me that she had been, she was probably my freshman year Spanish professor, and she came, and I'm 35. I turned 35 next week. So I've been out of college for 10 years now. And she came and told me that she remembered me in my class, that I was one of her most gifted students, and that I had this drive about me, and she's so proud of everything I became. And I was like,
she just popped up here?
She just popped up here because Copper House.
Yeah, I mean, it's natural.
Yeah,
It's
she doesn't consume,
like
but I was like, the universe is just reminding you.
It's
Sometimes they
amazing.
give you the little reminders to keep going.
Subtle reminders are key. You just got to look for them.
Yeah.
Can anybody just pull up to Copper House? Like, how can they find you and, like, you know, book a stay? What's the procedure on that one?
Dope. So should I tell them what Copper House is?
Can we go from graduating to Copper House? Was there anything in between that?
Oh, yeah, facts. Yeah.
I worked in nonprofit for a long time. I was a college advisor in Battle Creek and helped students navigate to the path of college. I was a teacher. And then I worked, when I was in Delaware getting my MBA, I worked as an administrator in student affairs to build inclusive environments in residential environments.
What level? High school?
College
yeah.
level? So I've worked with students over, it's interesting, that's probably my biggest like thread is like, I worked with high school students to get them into college, and then I worked in colleges to get them into workplaces, and now I work in workplace environments to ensure that they're able to survive and thrive. Like that's my mission cycle. Is how do we like make sure
you've always been the gap, you know, like bridging the gap of the need of just like navigating through this life, and super dope. Yeah,
the world's lucky to have a Jess.
Yes, I appreciate that.
For real.
I appreciate that. I am lucky to have the world, honestly. I think that we are reciprocal.
What part of, where did Copper House, like there's obviously, there was a thought before, hey, let's open a B&B. Where does the history, the inspiration come from?
Cara and I's engagement story. I proposed to Cara in Paris, and then we went to Amsterdam, and we stayed in a houseboat on the canals in Amsterdam, and it was an Airbnb, and they had in like joints there were like little ashtrays with joints, and it was just like obviously for the cannabis culture, and I was like, okay, this is dope. We can smoke here. It's not like, you know, safe. Yeah, it was safe. And then, but when we were in Paris, we stayed in a neighborhood, and we were able to go out. And
is it a neighborhood?
A neighborhood, yeah. So it was like
a neighborhood.
It wasn't, yeah, okay, where the cool. Most of the night life for the gays was happening, and we would feel safe.
Just for like the people in the back who ain't listening. So I live in Ferndale, so
that's why we picked this neighborhood. We picked this neighborhood because Ferndale is right there, and that's a gayborhood.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And then we, after Amsterdam, after Paris, we were in London, and we stayed at a hostel. So they had like the community ambassador vibe, which are 3 things that we really try to integrate into our space. So we selected Bagley, which is a neighborhood in Detroit that is close to Ferndale, which Ferndale is a gayborhood, and we selected. We serve as the community ambassadors, right? So we get to tell them about different businesses on Livernois. Bagley is also off of the Avenue of Fashion, which has the highest concentration of Black-owned businesses in the city. So we can tell people to go to restaurants there and boutiques there and make sure that an area in Detroit that doesn't get a lot of tourism benefits from our operation. And we get to be so we're the community ambassador. We're close to a neighborhood and offer that safety for folks. And then we are cannabis inclusive. And I think that having different cool things for folks to try and normalize consumption in the different ways to consume is a key element to the future of our industry.
I agree. I think it's amazing that somebody that is as inclusive and as educated as you is leading that movement. So thank you for that. What features at Copper House, other than those three things, were important to you as far as drawing a crowd? What was your goal as far as attracting the right group of people?
I think that it's funny because one of my like brand ambassadors, Arada, she's like the brand ambassador. She just told me that she wanted to host a party here, and someone was like, "Don't do that type of party at Copper House. That's not." And like, not in a shady way of like, don't use Copper House, but in a like, that's not the level that they're on. Like, right. That's not the vibe. How did you establish?
You've got a level of, yeah.
It's the like, we focused on women, honestly. How do you appeal to a feminine eye, a feminine perspective? I guess it's not just women, but femininity. And then we make sure that like, we're very intentional in how we greet people, welcome people, how we maintain energy in the space. And then I think just in our ground rules and how we don't really have much of those, just we try not to wear shoes in the house. And then I think in our brand, and honestly, it's who we are, right? So exactly. Folks know like this space is owned by 2 Black queer women, and like they navigate with respect in that way, and folks who want to support those types of businesses clearly are more conscious and come for that intention. Right. And I think that you also, when you set a standard for yourself, you try to deliver on that standard. So it's like
you have to set the standard, or there's not going to be the standard, right?
Yep.
What does it take to be a brand ambassador for Copper House? Like, what were you looking for at that time?
We were looking for community. So this is what I talked about with Tati earlier. Shout out to Tati, who's on the production team.
Shout out to Tati,
who has hosted an event at Copper House.
Tati, you want to come? You want to come join on this?
On the gravity bong.
I actually never hit one of these before.
Today's the day.
So I don't know how it works.
So you actually.
Is it a team effort? Like, what do we need to do to make it work?
We gotta suck it first.
Pause. No.
Pause. Well,
I'm familiar.
She said, "Well,
I'm a little familiar with the concept."
Ready, light, and I'll flip.
Okay.
And that sucks itself, right?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. It sucks itself.
Superpower. That's the beauty of it.
Like that, yeah.
But you should use the torch because this shit will burn your hands.
Where's your torch lighter?
Do you have a torch lighter? It's so much better.
I'm gonna let go now, okay?
Yeah. So let it fill up on one side. Let it go down all the way.
Okay.
And then now
it's a timing thing, right?
There we go. Yes, but leave it lit.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna flip. Let's see.
Gotta get it hot.
Yeah, and then we just keep flipping, make sure that there it goes. Yep. We're gonna keep flipping.
So she does.
There it goes. Oh, it's for Tati.
Yeah, Tati, hit it go. I'll switch you.
Cara can get that glass like white, so
milky.
It's not. We're not doing something effectively.
Stand up. I'm confident.
You want me to call Cara?
How to smoke a student glass.
Yeah.
You gotta do the side thing.
I'm gonna turn
like
this
it's
up.
like you're lighting a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can adjust that flame too. It gets bigger.
Okay. Does it?
Damn, I should have brought my torch, huh?
Yeah, you usually have your trippy kit.
There is a torch lighter. No, I don't think so. We should call Cara down. Is that?
See, this is where like I want like at least a match or something.
Yeah. Ooh, dang. I had matches in my car, but my car ain't here, so it doesn't snap it.
She has the.
could do, one thing I've done before is I light a joint, and at the end of the joint, put it in the bowl and let it do it. And
Hell yeah.
There you go.
You just breathe it?
Yeah, there you go.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, see, that's what it's supposed to look like. There we go. There we go.
Oop. Good catches. There she goes. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, that. That's how that works.
God damn.
And it will keep going, so you're gonna get fried.
It's like a beer bong.
Cobes.
You gonna hit it?
Cobes. Cobes.
Jess, do you need any more water?
Hit the strudel. Hit the strudel.
You good?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. You ready? One more?
Good job, team.
I want to do
Oh, yeah.
another one too at some point.
It's still going. It's just air at this point.
It is. It's lighter now. It's not as harsh. But I'm definitely good on that. Yeah. So having cool toys like this is a part of that experience.
Is this a standard? Like, does this come?
With our pajama party package, yeah. So, like, the goal... Recreational marijuana was legalized in Michigan. I wanted to be in the industry. I wanted to be an equity owner. My father was a victim of the crack epidemic, and I felt entitled to space in this industry. One, because I believe in cannabis justice. I think that black women need to be in the industry. But the cost of entry and the cost to play was high. So I started with what I had, and I just was like, okay, we're going to do little kickbacks out of our house. Cars started growing out of the basement, and I got fired from my executive level job for hosting kickbacks out of my house.
Did you seriously?
Yes.
Was
I
it in
did.
some contract or something?
The violation was that I was violating the non-compete by starting a competitive business, and it was in direct conflict with the mission. So I was like, how can we be in competition and in conflict? But
With what company were you working for at that time? I mean, you don't have to name drop.
Yeah.
What kind of
it
business?
was a nonprofit consulting firm.
Okay.
Yeah. And the at the time I was pissed. Like I was like, what? Why would you do this? But I hated it there. I was like looking for a job in February. This was April. I got fired on the week of 420. That same week we had the Detroit Free Press in our house. It was in our house filming infused meal. Like, and I made the front page of the Free Press.
That same week?
That same week that I got fired.
Afterwards?
Yeah. So it was kind of like God being like, keep going.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I was scared. That scared the shit out of me because I was the good kid. Like I did everything right. Like and I got fired from my first job outside of my MBA because I was doing cannabis, and it was like but it was my awakening.
Yep.
It made me realize that like, hey, your job can't be everything. You need to have external sources of income to rely on, and you need to build what you want for yourself. And then it made me really face some of my performance. Like, why was I so invested in my job as the key of who I was? And it also let me keep going here in cannabis. And Cara now took growing in the basement. She is now an operations manager at a multi-class C level grow operation in Warren. And I work in the industry. I am an ancillary owner of the industry, and I highly engage, and it's destiny fulfilled, and no one can stop destiny.
Yeah, I just want to say, side note, just because I have to get this off, but fuck non-competes in this cannabis industry. Like, there's so much money to be made out here. Like, don't ever be boxed in by a contract. If you sign a non-compete, it better come with 6 figures, and they better take care of you, because I've seen so many instances where companies will see great talent and try to harbor it and have like a patriarchal mindset that they can do whatever they want with it. And like, if I have this theory of like, I don't give sauce just for it to be on the shelf. So like
Yeah.
it's just some companies set a bad example of like how to take care of their employees and to not compete. I feel like that's thrown around, and it's like the new age of this labor force. Like, you can't be loyal to a company. You gotta look out like for you and that franchise player, or like they gonna use you, and they gonna like basically just gaslight you and like make you think like you wrong for knowing your worth and stuff like that, and like try to hold things over you and stuff like that. Like, and not really about it.
You.
Yeah,
it's
so
power play, and
not really for it.
it makes like it feel like ownership. Like, you own my talent that I've been cultivating for multiple years with all these damn degrees. That is you should negotiate that. Yeah. Know that you can negotiate aspects of your contract regardless of where you work in the industry. Speak up.
Any part of life.
Yeah.
So I just like my little tangent. I just be getting hot
No,
sometimes.
that's all right.
I don't like being.
No, that's real. I really feel. I got fired over. So I went and I got legal help, and I was like, "What? What are the things?" So the longest in Michigan that a non-compete can be viable is 2 years. So know that if it's longer for 2 years, or if it's at 2 years, that's kind of a lot. It should also be geographically bound, so a certain distance away shouldn't be ambiguous that it's any company. But like, if you work in Warren, you might have a non-compete for Warren, but that's fine. You can go somewhere else. And the third thing is it should be industry specific. It should be skill. Like, what are the things that are actually protected in that non-compete? And if it's too ambiguous, it's going to be thrown out anyway. So it's a scare tactic, and it's a power play, but it's not highly effective because it doesn't build loyalty. It makes you feel captive. So the business owner is not even a good use of your time. Know what your employees want. If we're talking about you want the code to maintain, nobody wants to work right now. They can do their own side hustle. So know what your team wants for themselves, and make sure that like you build that into their experience. So when we're talking about brand ambassadors, I want to know what they want. And if it aligns with what I want, then I give them opportunity and leeway to be able to do that. So I usually am looking for entrepreneurial spirits, folks who have lots of ideas, folks that have some experience in curation, because intentional design is really important here. And then folks that can come with a team and know how to do their own production, because it should reflect their own ideas. And then social media, folks that know how to do social media. Those would be the things that I was looking for when I was looking for a brand ambassador program. And I offer commission on bookings that are referred, and then earned space time. So like using the space for their own events and then hiring whenever there's a sponsored event, like when they're asking who's your staff, I make sure my brand ambassadors are paid for that work.
You're dropping names. That in and of itself is a benefit of a company. It's amazing.
And we got pretty good companies coming through here. Like, that has been a blessing. The industry has really embraced us, and I'm blessed and grateful.
Can you tell us a little bit deeper about, you share a lot on social media, the little tidbits every morning, and I love it. I look for it every morning, so please keep doing it. But what kind of inspired that, and where do you find, what do you come up with that every day? Is it off the chest, off the heart, every day?
So one of the things in my spiritual journey is that I am probably being called to ministry, which I've known for a long time, but I've denied, So finding, it's God speaking through me, and I think that it resonates with people because it's what they need to hear. And I have allowed myself to be open to that and I have to be grounded. I have to be in my grounding in order to be a messenger. I know that I'm meant to be a messenger, and it's just another part of the destiny. That's what inspires it. But really, I like to normalize vulnerability and normalize humanity. So I'm very transparent in my journey. Like, I've not had a perfect journey by any means. I know where I'm headed. I know what I'm destined for. And I want it to be as human as possible.
Yeah. And on the angle of following you on your journey, I think it's super awesome and inspiring, because one thing that I've struggled with is confidence, and seeing you, honestly, like, I think when I first saw you, I was like sort of intimidated because you were like radiating with confidence, and like I said, it inspired me to get to this point now. So what did gaining that confidence look like for you along that path?
Yeah, I think I've always been performatively confident, right? Like, I can impress people.
7 clubs.
Yeah, like, I
She
know
been doing it.
I'm charming. I have this element around me. But was it real? I don't know. Like, I think, like, I latched on to all these external things. And when I started consuming cannabis more frequently, when I lost that job and got fired and felt like I had nothing else for myself, I had to just do. And I also had a lot of time for myself. And so, like, spending so much time to learn who I was has really helped me fall in love with me. And, like, I think that that's what it's like. In order for you to be confident, you have to really believe who you are and know who you're meant to be and walk in that truth. That's what real confidence is, and recognize your worth in that journey.
Yeah, I think there was a time where I was in a room and I felt like a fish out of water, and then I would get blamed for not knowing how to breathe, and like the confidence just plummeted, and I had to like get back to a point, like speaking metaphorically and stuff like that.
Like, holy cow.
But like, and then I had to realize, maybe I'm in the wrong room. And then it was what you said on social media. You said, go somewhere you are celebrated and not tolerated. And it was around the time I made the move out to Ferndale. I honestly started kicking it with Tati, and we started like brainstorming. I'm like, yep, this is where I need to be. And the confidence, it's like, where did it ever go? Like, it's always been here. I've always been Timothy. You know what I'm saying? So like, just kept going.
Yeah, keep going in that and follow the joy. What are the things that are really like the shit that keeps you up at night? That's what you should be doing.
Right.
And when I was in college, I went to class sometimes, but I was mostly in the computer lab working on freelance graphic design, like doing marketing and promotion and events. And I worked in the residence hall, so I was building living learning environments, which is like, and then when I worked in Delaware, I was doing residence halls. It's the stuff that like really invigorates your soul that you should be doing. And you should be able to smile in it and not feel like work, because a lot of times it ends up being your whole life.
And I'm trying to find that balance right now, because, they say you can work a 9 to 5, or you can do something you love and it don't feel like work, but they don't tell you like the imbalance is like you don't stop working. Right. So you hosting Copper House, do you ever have that, all right, I need a vacation from the vacations business?
Yes, a lot actually, because it's also a lot of energy in your space all of the time, and that's why intentional energy clearing is really important to me, and having boundaries. So that's why I'm glad we have a little bit more of boundaries. But I think that we build systems to make it more sustainable for us, and that's what I think a lot of people. And we're in capitalism, so there is costs, right? Yep. But we gotta think of things as like energy exchange. How do we have energy exchange? And what's being offered, and how does it align to what you're already doing? Because that's how you build with. You like are able to have that free flow reciprocity in exchange in that way, and that also is anti-capitalist in my opinion. So I would say that delegate through energy exchanges that you can make. If currency is that exchange, then pay a team. If space is an asset, then pay in space. But figure out a way to build a team and grow together.
Cool. Man, I'm thinking of like low key, like at some point we're gonna do a time bomb with the student class. I'm not about to be in the presence of it and not do it. So like loading up a bowl lighting a joint and then putting it on top. So then you ain't got to worry about lighting it.
You were
Because the joint is
doing
lit.
Oh.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Let's do it now. Kobe, how you doing with the camera? Is that still on?
I think it's still on.
All right.
Should be.
So
we
tap
use
the
them.
info button 5 times for me. That's what
This
you
is
gotta
so
do.
pretty. It's so clean.
We're at 13 minutes right now.
Car cleans
All right.
the lawn. Do you want to do this?
Yeah, I would definitely love to.
Yeah, there's one. Do you need a full size, or do you want me to like this? Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Check that are boiling their grinders in milk.
I know. I
And
wasn't
then drinking it?
Ew! I have seen that. I think that's so gross. But I understand. It is kind of like...
There's so many pre-made things that are just better than that, though. Just don't.
Pre-made milk. They're just
Like
saying
drinks, or like get a tincture or something. Like,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
there's other ways, man.
Man, you gotta smell this. This looks like blue. So like, I don't know. I gotta like replicate the experience. This is so good.
Yeah, blueberry. That's accurate.
I want to see.
Top to cop.
Oh, damn. It's like those little muffin bites
Yeah,
when you open a pack of muffin bites.
Yeah.
Yeah, try that.
Oh, it is. It does.
The little bites.
It's the rapper
Like
blueberry.
focus groups and then like they
Wow.
get with the names. Okay,
What's the
everybody say
name?
blueberry.
Blueberry.
Oh, it is
muffin.
blueberry muffin.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Damn, that's what it's called?
Yeah.
That's spot on.
I grabbed it for a reason. Pass me later.
We better play that game too though.
Yeah, we should. That's a good game night at an event.
Alright, what strain? It's like,
What game night? What?
Sniff the strain.
Oh,
Smell it. Like bingo almost.
yeah.
You need to like make a
You gotta make
Do
a
it.
A hole, yeah.
yeah.
Get it hot first.
I can do it. I'm about to get a fresh set. These are expired.
I haven't got any nails on. Yours are bomb too.
Yeah, hers are awesome. They look good on camera.
Do they?
I've been going for a year and I spend money, and so I know who kind of can do the art.
Yeah,
And sometimes they
You're
just
built
want to
for
do
art.
my art because they're like, "Oh, can I take a picture of that for Instagram?" And I'm like, "Okay," but I just pull a picture. Yeah, I just pull a picture from Instagram. I take it and I'm like, "Do this."
I have a Pinterest board for sure. That's why I know how to do this.
Everything's private now. Actually, I'm not really fun on Pinterest.
It's not really fun on Pinterest. No,
Yeah.
it's just
Keep
like
it
an
private.
interest thing. It's like where you can be a nerd about
It
specific
is
interests.
exactly.
You have to really like put your initials on that stuff. I
I
get why my
know.
aunt did that when I was a kid.
I know. Gotta get a sticker machine.
Oh my gosh!
Start labeling everything.
Everything, like yeah, put my logo on this.
Phone.
shit.
I do want a sticker.
Sticker
Who
maker.
makes stickers?
I prefer who does this the next day.
Ooh, in Detroit.
Oh,
Ooh, that's hitting now. Ooh, y'all are stoners.
Yeah,
stoners.
damn.
I'm
She double
good.
hit that?
Pass it over.
Dip. Sure. Tastes like Mike
yeah.
Tyson.
I've been smoking since I was in high school.
I'm about to get the ear off.
The fact that you can keep
shit.
going.
Do that again. Can you do that again? Damn, I'm not recording. 'Cause I'm high.
Damn.
See, this is gonna happen. It's like, oh, you asked me a question and I sit there and delay for 10 minutes. Which happened last time.
Copper lungs at the Copper House.
Alright,
Something like that.
I got baby legs. I said it.
I'm just
call this episode Copper Lungs.
Copper lungs. You okay?
I don't have copper
Are you
lungs.
alright?
I'm scared of you.
Yeah. I'm like, wait.
Oh, no, darn. I was thinking.
I lasted longer than the joint.
True.
Wow.
What?
We need to
You're
get
like
this out.
chilling.
Yes.
Oh man, can't handle me.
And he ain't even
A
called.
year, you.
Copper lungs.
I do
So-
dab.
Okay.
How many fingers?
Dabs are another story. I know now we're gonna have a cover lungs contest. Who can outsmoke on the
You got
student
more?
bond?
Ooh, I'm gonna be honest though. You gotta submit me. You gotta submit me.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
coming.
that was your interest.
I'm coming
was
top
you.
5, honestly. I feel
Cause
I'm used to getting miserably high. Just like in the words of Jess, like, I'm used to this. I do this.
Built for this.
Like,
I am.
hey,
You
I
are.
don't know.
Blueprint.
You are too.
I mean the pink print.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hey, so,
Wait, that's just.
Yeah. It's a Nicki lyric.
so Jess, I asked this on the first episode, but what are 5 things you can't travel without?
Some of these are new. I like to take a sage or incense or a Palo Santo to make sure that I clean the space. I like to bring, oh my gosh, face oil.
Name the brand.
It's really, really important. There are 2 that I'm using right now, and one, I should learn the name, but it was given to me it's Cannabis. I should bring it down. And it is fire. I just started using it because
you do look glowy.
Yes, it is good. I didn't even use it today, but it usually is good. And then Tribe Tokes, which I do have a code for folks if they want to use that, but they have a whole line of cosmetics, including this like eye cream. So face oil, and then shea butter, and my energy cleanser. So whether that is some incense, Palo Santo, I also have a spray because sometimes you can't light things in a hotel room.
So you said incense, and then the oil,
Shea butter.
shea butter, and so now we on 4, right?
I take Delta 8 gummies, and put them in vitamin jars so that I can travel with that. But I mean, it obviously doesn't dose me the same as like all the time, but it gives you your medicine for when you need that. And I just went to Brazil for a month in December. And the other thing that I learned that I need is tea. So I travel with like tea bags, and hopefully they have honey. But when you don't read Portuguese very well and you have to Google what the tea is, I just would rather know I just rather spend the time doing those things. But yeah, get out the country.
You said it like it was your house.
No, like literally, like that's the other thing you want to know. You gotta like take a break. You gotta take a break,
sure.
And you gotta explore the world and see how other people are doing it. And if you're in cannabis, go to Spain and see what they're doing on the scene there. Go out the country and learn what the world is doing.
So, besides the Paris stamp, of course, what would you say was like the most cool or adventurous passport stamp?
Brazil is probably it.
For a month?
I was there for a month. I was by myself.
Oh, wow.
A solo trip. I quit my job. Well, I kind of negotiated a consulting contract out of my job so that I could work less time. And then
What'd you do every day? What was your day to day?
I woke up and I walked for miles in the sun.
Hey, my boy know about that, right?
In like
Forest.
Hey, we gonna walk over here.
And then yes, and ate delicious fresh fruits. Oh my gosh, so much fruit. And I'm not like a big drinker, so I don't enjoy nightlife all the time. I was cannabis dry. I did travel with some shroom tea.
Cool.
And
it's a top 5 for show.
Yeah.
Can you help me out? Getting something around here?
Mm-hmm. Secret plug.
I need a plug around here. It's tough going back home. What you looking at me like that for? Stop it.
Yeah, there are multiple.
We got the walker and the plug. We got everything we need right here.
For me, it's just like trust, because I didn't have so many. I think for shrooms, that's probably that's the commodity I've had the most like hits and misses. I'm like, all right, it's like a bad batch. I ain't fucking with you no more. And it's just location convenience. Sometimes the homie ain't always there, so I gotta go with somebody else. And it's like, for me, I don't spend too much time around it, so I don't think I have the nose or the indication of what's good and bad off like an eye or like smell test. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they have strains too.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man, there's like Penis Envy.
Envy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Golden Teachers.
Yeah.
I'm so uneducated. The last time I.
But you still aren't. The
sure
potency
it's not
isn't. You don't.
I
know.
mean, I could guess the difference. You know, if you put them in front of me, I've had both at the same time. But I think for sure I go with the Golden Teachers. Like that's been the known hitter, and then everything outside of that has been like a risk. So.
I microdosed with shrooms for a year. It changed my life. I took it every 3 days. They were in capsules. I took 0.33 grams, and it changed my life.
Yeah, I stayed. So I microdosed in February for like the month. Like, it was just I don't know. Like the seasonal depression was a bitch. I'm gonna just say that. So like getting through was like I took like I would say like in between 0.25 and 0.3, and then with some vitamin D.
Yeah.
And it for sure helped. Felt like a natural Adderall.
I microdosed daily this winter too for a period of time.
Yeah.
For that like same reason. It's. I mean, FDA is researching it for antidepressants.
Yeah, and it for sure helped. But like, it was the crutch I didn't know I needed until I'm like, man, like I was going through it back then. But if it wasn't for this ounce of shrooms. And then, the people in my support group, checking on me, shouts out to the homie. And then, everything else around it, like, I had family in that was on the west side of Detroit, and I spent like a couple years out here, like on and off, and definitely had some experiences. First fight, first bike that got stolen, first MP3 player that got stolen. some character builders like happened out here, so kind of seeing it, and then like going back to like a PWI, like like I said, like being a black man in white America, it's like, man, it's so different. Like, I feel safer like with black people compared to being out here, because then you say something like similar to that, but like vice versa in a way.
Yeah, I am looking. So yes, there are things that happen in areas where population is dense and folks are living in poverty that are inconveniencing my existence. I do not like. I don't like the character building activities that happen around me. Actually, I'm not a fan. I got business to do.
I feel you.
Like you playing with my life. I've had some things happen to me, and. So I'm looking, I'm like, okay, where do I want to go next? Where do I want to live next? And I'm like, all the suburbs are mostly white. Like I'm gonna have some Karen call the cops on me for living my life. Like I running, like am I gonna
being
be
out
like,
existing, walking to the
existing,
store,
like can I get my miles in there? I don't know. So I'm like, damn, I'm kind of like stuck in this rock in a hard place. Is that how the saying goes?
Nowhere is really safe. Like to exist isn't necessarily safe. So
because
choose your battles
when
if you can.
When that Ahmaud Arbery case came out, like it was hard to be like, man, like am I gonna go for a jog around the block and not get followed? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like I pulled up to like my friend got a new crib out in Royal Oak, and I pulled up and like this white neighbor on his bike just like stopped in his tracks to like, and he saw me pull out, but like my shoes were untied, so I like stepped out, saw they were untied, got back in to tie him, and he just stood there, and then I'm like, oh, this guy hasn't moved. Let me get on my phone real quick. Let me just text my friend I'm here, take a little bit, more time, and just stood, and then I got out, gave him a mean glare, and just got on his way. But like,
you get the second look.
Like, why does that gotta happen? Like. Took like a solid like 2.5, 3 minutes, like in real time. That's just weird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
by design.
Just wasn't a fan.
By design, that's how the world has been set up, to scrutinize us, to police us, like make sure that you're supposed to be there.
But pivoting back to weed, on the preference, I asked you like if there was something I could. Get to your favor. You said sativa. Is that something you mainly lean towards? You said you started smoking consistently the last couple years.
Yeah, I think that I try everything that's given to me. I have access to a lot. I'm enjoying, And I really, really like lemony, like, and skunky, and also garlicky.
Nice.
Yeah, that would be like my favorite palette, which I often find in sativas. I also really enjoy linalool, which is like in perps. And so I go by like flavor profile and flavonoids and like how it tastes, and that's why I picked those. But we don't have that access to, and we don't know what the terpene profile within cannabis is right now, because that's not what that we might know the percentage of like whatever. But
I think there's
Viola does.
There's definitely like consumer percentages that just look for the wrong thing, and just like marketers go towards that, because it's definitely like the average customer will go off THC, the highest one, and then they'll go off price. So, like, that's the second factor, and then they'll go for like taste, like or indica sativa, like that's the third one, and then the fourth one is, I would say, the flavor profile.
Yeah.
If you like something with cheese or, like earthy, gassy, or something like that. Like,
I do not like gassy.
I do not.
I will say, when it comes to concentrate, I like gassy. Bree, do you have like a preferred flavor profile that you like when you, what do you look for when you smoke?
Honestly, I'm more of an effects kind of person. Like, I'd rather like learn what it's going to do to me, or how I'm more going to feel, than what the terpene or the flavor profile is, I guess. And I guess that is the terpene when you're talking about
like
effects, right? What?
Yeah, you asking what it hit like?
Yeah, I'm like, am I going to take a nap? Am I going to read a book? Like, I'm always doing things, so I need to be aware of, like, am I going to be couch locked? Am I going to be paranoid?
Yeah.
Like, tell me before I consume this, because...
So you like the type of person, like, if you came to somebody looking for that, like, they'd be like, do you have an agenda? And you would say, like,
exactly.
yes or no, and be like, all right, well, throw that bitch out the window, because you taking a nap off this shit. Like,
my favorite bud tenders... no. Absolutely not. No. My favorite bud tenders are like, hey, what's up? What are you doing today? I'm doing XYZ. Okay, here's what I have for you. This is how you're going to feel with this. This is how you're going to feel. Y'all are the best bud tenders. You do great at your job.
Oh, asking what you're going to do with your day.
What are you going to do with your day? Like,
That's
are you taking this to go with you? Like, yeah. The other day I was going to hang out with a person that I hadn't seen in, like, forever, and I feel like joints are, like, appropriate for that, and I got this like infused joint for like $18, but it was like a great conversation piece. It was a good high. It was a good question.
Infused pre-rolls.
Hell yeah, exactly.
Like,
do you have a favorite infused pre-roll?
Oh, I'm on Common Citizen. I do like Jeter, and I love Common Citizen's infused pre-rolls.
Awesome.
They're infused with THCA diamonds. They have distillate, and they have keef. And they are really good.
Where can I find them?
You can find them at Live in Ferndale, and they deliver for free.
Okay.
And in Detroit, if you're in Detroit. And I have them. I can share you one. They're really good.
Thank you. I would appreciate the share.
What is the student something you typically smoke out of, like, day to day? What's your drive?
Cara is.
That's me.
Cara does. Cara is she smokes weed because she grows weed, and she wants to know how it's hitting, and she likes to know her information. I'm like a pre-roll gal. I prefer a pre-roll. I really prefer edibles, and then when I told you, like, I stopped eating sugar, and I use tincture now.
Yeah.
And like tinctures.
In place of edibles?
Yeah, sublingual tinctures are really good, and they hit nicely.
They're single dosage, right? You just do like under the tongue kind of thing?
Yeah, Mary's Medicinal it's an oil based, and you can put it underneath your tongue. And I enjoy that because it's sugar free, and I feel like it hits faster. That might just be placebo,
I feel like it definitely
but it
does.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever used the tincture under the tongue method. I don't.
It's very adult. I like it.
Is that mainly for
It's like
THC?
with my vitamins.
It is. I'm so proper with it. I don't know.
So the tincture, There's THC in it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to. Okay, we're gonna have to follow up on
You
that.
can put them in your
Yeah.
coffee and stuff
Yes.
too.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
You
in
can put 'em
my
in snacks.
tea. I love it in my tea.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many possibilities.
You can put it in your salad dressings. You literally can just like be making edibles out of anything.
Yeah.
So is that like, the
new wave?
You
It
know what I'm
is.
saying? Like, if you
Yeah.
really wanted to save money on like going to the store and getting edibles, you think just buying some
I
some
feel
tincture?
like
Yeah.
they're not as strong. Like I don't know what the availability is on like a
Realistically-
AU market.
Realistically,
for,
I feel like you just have to dose it heavily for it to be
Exactly.
like a 10 milligram. But
Exactly.
like if you
Yeah.
want like because there's certain.
Mary's Medicinals, one dropper is about 15 milligrams.
Oh, nice.
So
Oh shit.
you can see there's like 5, 10, 15, but you got to pay attention to the full bottle and how many milligrams are in the full bottle, right? So like if you want it stronger, and then you can also make it yourself. Like we have an Ardent FX for folks to decarb their flour and infuse their oils, and then they can use. We also have a waffle maker.
Where is
And
this?
you can make it here at Copper House, and you can make like breakfast in the morning,
that's
and
hard.
like it's like weed leaf shaped. Yeah.
I just want to say a side note. Shouts out to Glacier, the guys Sam, Mike, and Matt over there. It was funny because this dude, he was eating a pack of choice gummies or something like that. Like they was Skittles damn near. And I was like, bro, like 10 milligrams each. He goes, yeah, bro, I can just pop these bitches back like Tic Tacs.
It's dangerous.
And I was like, bro, you are a trooper. And then like he's like, I'm gonna go to the food truck. I'm a little hungry. And he comes back like hair's just like turn. And he goes, yeah, man, I just ate 3 fucking crepes. My stomach's so fucking full. And I'm like, bro's bent right now. And it's like for me, I just like I could do it, but I couldn't be out in public like that. So that's why I can't do it. But like, shouts outs to them. They grow some good weed. I recommend Glacier, and they partner with Pyramid to do some concentrate, and it's really good. I'm in the that's
You
just
like
my
the
lane.
concentrate gang.
My
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's what we know.
That wasn't the blueberry one, was it?
Exactly. I was
There's
gonna take a
another one.
tolerance break,
Oh.
and I was like, I
How
went
about
50 and and I'm like,
this is
Tolerance
my gift to you.
Are
Good on you on
these
time.
these are
Not
flowers.
today.
Wait, can I share
Maybe
this
the
with
next
Cara?
week or next cycle.
Yeah.
We can light it if you want, but I'm good. But I think Cara would really love that. She loves blueberry. That's her flavor profile, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a Cara gift.
Yeah.
I feel like this smells like blueberry, but it's not.
That smells orangey to me. That
Tangerine,
smells
yeah.
like, yeah.
I definitely try to go for the citrusy because that's
Yeah.
like the anti-inflammatory
Yeah.
terpene, and I mean that's like the reason I became a medical patient in like 2015. I broke my wrist and my arm, and got like 60 Vicodin and used and abused, and got into like a car accident.
Oh, no.
And like life kind of spiraled a little bit, but we came back up. We came back, bounced back.
Part of your testimony.
Yeah, exactly. So, saw like the medical benefit and it being the alternative and it being like the enabler, and I saw like all right, like that like kind of helped me like short term, but this was still like letting me go to class high, instead of being like I'm gonna just sit down and watch TV, like that's what I wanted to do. But that like helped me change the perception and realize that this needs to be equitable and accessible, and like we need to have a stake in this industry because Mac Mama Slim's barbecue sauce is coming. You heard it, like
Mama Slims.
oh yeah, Mac Mama Slim. It's gonna be the new Sweet Baby Ray's, but of
Mac Mama Slims.
a THC. Oof.
No, there needs
We
to
be
be a
going
sauce
crazy.
line.
We be going
Who
crazy.
does it? Who makes that? You?
My mom.
Oh, okay, okay. That's I
Mama
literally
Slim.
have.
Yeah, I'm down for the sauce.
I've been telling people
Right.
that
We
shit.
need
Salad
that.
dressings too.
Yeah,
like,
that's
come
what we
on,
do.
because you
With
can make the
oil.
oil.
With
Yes.
oil, just put it in a little blender.
Yeah.
Make this really good champagne vinaigrette.
See, and that's
Have you ever had garlic expressions? Oh, it's the best.
It's a black bottle on the top.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's the
Where
best
is it?
salad dressing.
Where can you find it?
Kroger is where I get it. but I think someone told me where we could get it. I think you could get it at the Meyer
The
by
Reason?
Belle Isle. Yeah.
That's my new like favorite.
Harbor Town, yeah. Look for Garlic Expressions. It's the
I'm
best
trying to go
balsamic
to Belle
ever.
Isle at something like this summer, but
It's
Yeah.
Belle Isle.
Let's go.
What
You
is
gotta
it?
go for the beach. I didn't realize
We
the
gon-
beach is
we gon-
like
we gon-
Tuesday,
got
set
the-
up at 10.
we got to plan for like late August. Like that's literally like the next weekend. I'm free. Like it's
yeah.
I feel, no, I'm saying
It's-
on a regular day, like a Tuesday.
Yes,
Ooh.
that's the best time to go. Like a Thursday.
ooh, facts. I
Take
might
my
have
kids
like,
to the
plan
lake
Monday
every
or
other
Friday or
Thursday.
something like that.
Like next
Yeah.
it's
the vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a Detroit thing to do.
That's a Michigan thing to do. You wise, anyways.
Yeah.
You got like 3 months. You better go
Every day,
Yeah.
like every day.
every day.
Every day.
Exactly.
I for sure need
I need to
that.
feel the sun
Yeah.
so it can
That's
feel
the
that
thing.
feeling.
I don't gotta do like the day. I could do like a 11 to 3 type shit, you know, and still get on with my day, you know. Like,
Yeah.
11 and 3 at the what? At Belle Isle?
yeah, something like that. Like, no, I'm busy. I don't know. I'll be like, I'm at that point. Like, I'm like still like super like anxious at times because I'll be thinking of my to-do list while I'm
You just have
relaxing.
to have fuck off days, man.
And then-
Yeah.
Just write
Yeah.
out your days.
I
If you
always
do
just
extra
think
on
about
your
what's
day-
the worst that could happen.
Exactly.
Is someone gonna die? Oh,
Niggas
okay.
die every
If
day.
they do,
B.
they
That's
got
what I be
chilled
thinking.
out.
Yeah.
From overworking myself. So let me
Or you
live.
could die at the beach.
Yeah, no,
choice.
I definitely, you know.
But grind while
slept
you in
in.
your youth grind. 'Cause
Yeah, for sure. Have this use it while I got it mentality,
Yeah,
but like
grind.
sometimes like I was saying like I got 8 hours of sleep last night and like that was like it felt like I was sleeping in. I'm like,
That's the
man,
philosophy.
like, I need that.
That's a
like,
lot.
Yes.
That's
8
a lot of
hours
sleep.
work, 8 hours rest, 8 hours work. There's like time for everything.
That's
Yeah.
I
genius.
feel like, we think that we don't have time.
But the problem is that we don't work just 8 hours because everybody got side hustles too.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
fair.
so-
It's like you
Man,
just have to be
exactly.
cognizant of what you're trading your time for. So
Yeah.
Are you going to give up work for rest or rest for leisure?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what when I did a 21-day spiritual cleanse and I had to wake up between 4 and 6 a.m. every day and do 2 hours of like self-care. I had to take a bath, I had to do prayer, I had to
Every
make my
day?
tea, I had to take my herbs, I had to do
Wow.
yes for 21 days.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fire.
It was but it was disciplined and it like and now I can get up a little bit earlier. I like can't get out of bed before I have to get out of bed. Like I just be struggling. But now I wake up, I go for my little morning walk, I like chill a little bit, like have some time for myself and I'm like, oh, I wake up early now.
This shit now. Yeah.
This is
Right.
chill. It's not even that early. Like I could be up at 6, but I ain't there yet.
Yeah. I'm into a 7 a.m. every day routine.
Yes.
Even on Sundays, I'm up at 7 a.m.
Yes.
See, that's the thing. I'll be on my phone at 7 a.m. I don't be getting up till 8. I call it that.
I try to be on the walk at 7. So that's like, and you don't have to be up and dressed, but you at least doing something productive for yourself,
I'll be on the walk to the bathroom. I'll be like trying to rationalize it down to like the closest walk from bed. I'll be like, all right, this is the walk to the kitchen and start the coffee maker and some shit like that. Like,
Got my 12 steps in.
and this is the walk to the water bottle. Like, I didn't got it. I left it on the nightstand on purpose. Like,
Yeah.
so it wasn't bedside. Like,
Yeah,
just to make sure I got that walk in. Like,
that's fair. Two
now if
steps.
you let me, I'll get to the point where like it's like I get winded like going up the stairs. Like,
You better hit that gym, boy.
Yeah.
You gotta practice those. Well, I mean, you just came in with copper lungs. You don't need to practice the gym, clearly.
I guess the stamina.
Yeah.
But and you want that. You already said
it's
that
the dabs.
black
It's the
men
dabs. It's the
die
dabs.
sooner, and a lot of our folks are dying from like not taking care of their bodies with whether it be nutritiously dense foods. How many minerals and like nutrients are you getting in your body, because your body needs those things to sustain itself, and movement. And I think a lot of times, so I'm fat, right? Like, and that's like, but I think a lot of times people equate health with weight. So they'll be like, oh, this person is not as healthy as this person. But I think we got to change the narrative to be like, what's your nutrition? What are you consuming for nutrition? And what is your movement like? And why are you doing certain movement? Because what I realize is I like my movement for my performance is around speed. I like to increase my speed. And I like to increase my strength. I like to see progress in strength. Sometimes when I'm like into yoga, I like to see the different flexibility too. And I also like, so just like recognizing how to measure your performance around movement in ways that you enjoy. And that's kind of back to the like motivating it.
See, and that's the thing. So people look at me and like see that I got a fast metabolism. I can eat a lot, and you know, like I probably don't gain a lot of weight, but sometimes I try. But I have days where I'll spend 10 hours at a computer desk doing anything and everything, like business related. And like you said, like sometimes you got that 9 to 5, then you got that hustle on the side. So I'll spend 10 hours at a desk, like in a computer chair, and be like, well, I haven't even gotten outside today. Like, lived that domestic work from home lifestyle, and then it's all about getting out. You could definitely spend about 2 weeks getting it back. That's the benefit of, you know, using it while you got it in the youthful years. But like I catch myself in like spans like 2 weeks. I'm like, wow, I need to do some push-ups. Like I need to hit, you know what I'm saying, just do some sit-ups.
That
go
awareness
for a
of
run,
your
like,
body too, right? Like because that holds you accountable.
Yeah. And then like, you know, like body like dysmorphia on you know, like the mental scale. And I love Childish Gambino's 2013 album Age of the Internet, because I can just compare everything like to the internet and like comparison and stuff like that. Everybody think like this is what you should look like instead of like what you should be celebrating, you know. So like basically like on the other end, like I feel like more skinny than I look. And some people, like, it's hard to convey that to other people who've had other issues on the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah, exactly.
So
the comments go both ways.
yeah.
Body image is real, and it is another form of capitalism and what they paint for us to buy into. And we all have our own shit that we struggle with. That's why when I started Curvy Cannabis, which was centering on fat and larger bodies within cannabis marketing, we actually got featured in a documentary and Somewhere Higher, which was commissioned by Common Citizen. That's how I met Common Citizen, was through that process. We placed at Dead Center, which is like our documentary, placed at Dead Center, which is an Academy Award nomination path. And it is doing really well. It was featured on Nowness, and
Where can we see it?
It's on Nowness still. It's also on Vimeo. It was the Vimeo staff pick last
I never heard
week.
of Nowness. What's Nowness?
Nowness is a media platform that showcases film, a lot of different films. I think they have like 1 million followers on Instagram.
That's
it's
cool.
like a
That's
huge
dope.
platform. But yeah, it's gaining traction and credibility with some of these accolades. Yeah. Is it 1 million? Yeah. Yeah.
You send me a
My
screenshot?
face is on there. I was like, oh, hold on. But I was able to pay
I'm gonna find
over 10 fat models. I was able to
That's dope.
and my story is on a great platform, and like that was part of the campaign, was increasing visibility of fat bodies, which are usually about 2% in marketing, and fat women make up about, plus size women make up about almost 70% of the population. In the Midwest, it's a large proportion. We're actually one of the only states that protect against weight discrimination. Michigan is.
In what ways?
From job discrimination.
It's not a standard like in policy in other
You can't be
states.
fired for being fat here, and it's not standard in other states.
Interesting.
No.
Really?
I never knew that.
I did not know it was not standard.
And weight discrimination is not protected. It's not a protected class, except in Michigan, because we have a lot of folks that are larger body. And that was a part of that campaign. And I think that through that campaign, I learned that I could look at someone and be like, I wish I looked like that, right? But that person got their own shit about something else of their body. And like, because we are marketed to and fed images of what beauty looks like, and like whether that be thinness or light skinnedness, that's one way that we benefit, or like height or size, men, your chest, and like all these things. It's all fake.
Yeah. Going back to like events, I feel like you did something at Drifter recently.
Yep, Body Liberation Festival.
Yeah, can you talk about that? Because I'm gonna be honest, I like saw it and it was either like right before or after I like got coffee there.
Yeah.
Like, I live like a 10-minute walk from there, and they got a nice little chai latte that be hitting.
Yeah, their hours are limited, so make sure you get that latte.
You gotta be going from like 9 to 3 Tuesday through. They don't even open a day.
Yeah.
Tuesday through like Saturday. I don't even know, but yeah, limited hours. It's tough.
Yeah, but they do a lot of community programs, and that one was hosted by More Than a Body, which is a campaign that centered on it was anti-fat phobic, it just was a liberation festival, and there were a lot of vendors there. I actually got my favorite new skirt there from Curvy Bird Boutique, which is a plus size clothing boutique, and I led a self-empowerment workshop, which I didn't even actually end up facilitating because I promoted it the night before and I did not market it at all, and that was a learning moment for me. But I went and I celebrated liberation, and I didn't feel like calling folks to the presentation, but what I was going to do is just lead through a few empowerment things that I do and help folks kind of incorporate it into their practice in the day, right? So like there's psychology research on doing power poses in the mirror. So like, what is your power pose, or wearing your power color, or having different adornments that kind of make you feel safe and at home, right? We talk about sacred space. So like, what are the things that make you feel like you? And so just kind of like setting some goals around that. But the activity that is really powerful that I did when I was doing the Sacred Women's Cleanse, which is how I was going to open the workshop, was you spend like a few seconds writing everything about yourself. We don't frame it in any type of way. You just write down, tell me things about yourself. You just write down things about yourself. And then once we get through, we maybe do that for like 2 minutes. Then I give you like a green and a yellow highlighter. And with the green, I want you to highlight what's positive that you wrote. And with the yellow, I want you to highlight what's self-critical, or the critical self-talk. And a lot of times when I've done this with people, the critical self-talk is such a high proportion of your natural thoughts that come out. And like it was in the 80% for one person. And I was like, 80% of the time as you're thinking to yourself, you're like criticizing yourself. And so what are the ways that you can set goals to empower yourself? Because if that's going to happen, what can you do to like even this ring, right? Like it represents a lot of growth in my relationship. And so like when I look down, I'm like reminded of where I am in my life, and I'm grateful, and I'm able to be grateful. And so it's like a lot of what I do is to combat the negative mindset, and shrooms helps a lot, but like that awareness around that it exists, like damn, mine was at 60%. I was like, so the most of my time is me criticizing myself. That says something, and that's an area of growth.
Yeah, I definitely can relate to that.
Yes.
I'm about to feel like the self-diagnose would be the 70 percentile. I'm just like my hardest critic, but it comes from the feeling of, like I said, like being the fish out of water, isolation, and like if I'm like the hardest critic, then that means I'm like really passionate about something, but also like finding a new measuring stick of self-validation was super important. And
those are the dogs.
Cool. But I had to like find like a more lackadaisical or like a system that celebrated the small victories, basically, and it was easier to make the big accomplishments.
Yeah, that's absolutely what like celebrate your small wins, and recognize the balance, because like we still need a little bit of a critic, right, in order to grow. Like we need some criticism, but like if you're at like 70%, how can we get that down to like 25% so that I can practice the most of my time in self-acceptance and embracing? Because
Facts. Yep.
Plants don't grow all year. Like why would we expect ourselves to be constantly at the grind to get better? That's a
good phrase. Plants don't grow all year. And like my brand, Carefree Black Man, is like rejecting the need for external acceptance. It's like Like, why do I need somebody else's yes, you know, to fulfill my cup of water? You know, like find ways to water yourself. So
Yep.
need that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's how you, and don't let nobody tell you that shit's selfish, because I give of my excess. Otherwise, I'm depleting of self. And without me, I don't survive. And you don't get what you need from me anyway. So let me take care of me.
You ain't gonna get a version you want anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I got to be comfortable with accepting, like, man, I might just give up my last free weekend, but that just means I'm getting more money. Like, can't be too mad about it. You know, we can celebrate the bigger things. You know, I got a couple bachelor parties, you know, scheduled out, but beyond that, like, you know, like work during the youth year so I can have fun. I don't want to be working this hard when I'm like 45. You know, like I'm trying to be chilling.
Chill. I'm almost there. I'm ready to chill.
Facts. Absolutely. All right, I want to add, I'm doing a giveaway, the summer giveaway. You can get a Puffco by going to my YouTube page and subscribing. Go to the giveaway video, like the video, and comment your favorite way to transport your favorite strain from flame to lung. How do you like to drive that? This is about a $450 vaporizer that you can smoke concentrates in. It's like Bluetooth accessible, super cool. And
Bluetooth accessible?
it is Bluetooth accessible. Yep, you can adjust the temperature.
That's such an upgrade.
Yeah, you can like.
You could do it from your phone.
You can do it from your phone, and if you like in a sesh, you can like schedule it to like smoke sesh, so it like stays to like a certain temp. So you don't gotta like keep pressing the button and everything
Puffco.
like that.
Do they do that with the bowl thing?
Yeah,
No,
they got
yeah.
other devices.
It's
Do they have this like bowl thing that I want?
USB-C charging, wireless charging adaptable, and it has like an accessory where you can get a chamber that has like coils on the walls for like a more centralized heat of a dab, you know, because the Puffco like basic, which is what I have, just like a flat plate.
Basic.
Yeah, and these have the capability to have like a whole coil around the whole bowl that heats it up. Super cool. And gotta be 21 and up. The giveaway closes on September 1st at 6 p.m. We're gonna do a live video to do the winner. Hopefully we can announce that winner here at Copper House. I don't know, but
Come through.
we gonna announce the winner on September 1st at 6 p.m. We're gonna do a live show. Mark your calendars. Hopefully you free that day, Bree. If not, we're gonna find a daycare.
Nah,
we're gonna
we
find a
can
sitter
find
for
a
you.
daycare.
How many children do you have?
I have 2 children. That will
What
be
are
all the
their
children I
ages?
have. They turn 4 and 7 this month. And they're both girls, and they're exact opposites of each other.
Oh my gosh, but you're like, is it fun?
Yeah, it's just life, man. I don't know. I don't know any different. If that makes any sense. It seems natural. Like, it's literally, I haven't stopped doing what I'm doing. I'm just a mom, too. You know what I mean?
Please speak on
Just
that.
be like that. Yeah, I would. That's what I feel like. You know how you say you discover your passion? I feel like entering this industry as the bridge, like you've mentioned before, I feel like that's kind of like my bridge, is speaking as a parent. Like, our generation of children aren't going to know it as what we know it as. And that's because of people like us, whether you're a parent or whatever. Like, you speak on the benefits, you speak on the health. I literally will go to McDonald's drive-thru and then dispensary drive-thru, and we're at mommy's medicine store. Like, they put it in a bag. They don't need to know no more than that. We go home. We play outside. We eat our lunch. Like, it's normal. It's life. And I'm a functioning member of society, just like every other person that uses cannabis. So
No, I would say like high productive. I mean, because
super highly productive.
You got the main job, and then you know the side hustles. So you know,
side hustles got side hustles.
Right.
The kids be making bracelets and coming to markets and selling the bracelets. Like, it's just an add-on, you know. 2 of them.
2 of them.
2 of them. That's it. That's a wrap.
I want 2 of them.
You what?
I want 2 of them at the same time. I want twins. That's what I want.
I
Do
want
it.
a
I
better
think-
economy to have kids.
You know,
I want Cara to be a mom.
yeah.
That's I can see it. It's her purpose.
Have you talked about like who would carry the baby?
It'll be my womb.
Yeah.
And she
So,
will be the stay-at-home parent.
All right, can we like smile at the camera for
Oh
like
yeah,
2 seconds? Take
absolutely.
That was it.
Got those
Good
napkins.
job, gang.
Okay.